Hey, Unstuckers. Welcome to the Unstuck Institute podcast. This is our casual Friday, and I am Josh, as joined every week by my co host, Chel. Say what's up, Chel.
Howdy, Unstuckers. How are you today?
On Casual Friday, we take a moment to have a mini mastermind to problem solve, set goals, and keep the ball rolling on our own businesses. This week on the podcast, we had Brianka Johnson talking about how marketing is not one size fits all. As much as we would like it to be, it's not. So go back and check out that episode on Wednesday and learn more about how you should market yourself. I think everyone needs that, right, Jill?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the majority of people that we have on as guests are marketing in some way, shape, or form, but they always give such vastly different nuggets. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yes.
and they're not contradictory nuggets. They're just more of really good nuggets. So go back and listen to all those episodes with marketing experts we've had on because Chell and I are learning a lot. And hopefully you are too.
Yeah.
So how are you, Chell? Let's start with the pleasantries.
I'm great. I took some mental relaxation this week, much needed. So, really learning to go when I need to go and if I rather, there is a quote. Productivity is knowing when to like go with it or when to take a step back. So this week I took a step back and that was much needed. And I was actually stupid productive today. So do that when you need it, guys. That's my lesson of the week.
Excellent, excellent.
What
and
about you? What about you?
oh well, I had a lovely week. Um, Celebrated my birthday, which turned into a birthday weekend, as they are tend to do,
Hell yeah.
and and then came back to work on Monday, ready to hit the ground running with some new ideas and new things, which we'll get into. So it's been an exciting week, although not a huge movement week, just a huge idea kind of exciting week. So yeah, it's been good.
Sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All right, pleasantries aside, did you get your shit done, or am
Uh,
I giving your money to the National Riffle Association?
I will literally never let that happen, even if it comes down to the last millisecond. And
That's
today it
right.
almost did. I
Right before logging on. What?
So I built the back end to the course website last week, like
Hmm.
super, super quick after we got off of here. I've recorded those videos, edited them, like posted them. Beautiful. I said it would be nice if I could get week 2 videos done too last
Hmm.
week when I was telling the fine unstuckers here on the podcast. So to stay
Do,
true to
do
that,
you regret that? Do you regret
yeah, a
saying that?
little bit, 100. Yeah, I'll talk about more. Like I'll talk about why I regret that a little bit more later. But
Uh-huh.
I did it. I got them done today. It only took like, honestly, like 2 hours total of work. I was just not feeling it all week. But yes, they are done. I can edit them this week, but I can't upload them this week because I'm limited to 5 gigs of uploads on my Vimeo account. So
Mm, mm. That's a problem for future Chell.
yeah, it's
Okay,
okay.
sorry, National Riffle Association.
All
I tried.
right.
I didn't try very hard, but I tried.
What about you?
I did get my shit done. My
Excellent.
shit to do was to do the life book, which might sound like a small task, but if you really put some thought and effort into it, it takes a while.
Yeah.
um, and it was good. It was really nice to redo that because part of the life book is having your next year plan in it, and kind of looking at what was my 5 year plan and going, okay, let's assume that's pretty much the 4 year plan now. Moving things up,
Yeah.
um, and also dreaming bigger for the 5 year plan. So it was good. It was good to reflect and do, and I did it. So there, suck it, Nazis.
Oh, yeah. You wanted me to have some type of tagline or something.
You're still working on
Okay, cool. I will noodle.
it. Excellent. All right. With that, let's do our little 10-minute check-ins, shall we?
Cha.
I will put 10 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock. If you're wondering why we put 2 seconds on the clock, we don't even remember. So here we go. Time.
Excellent. This week was an emotional roller coaster. So, if you guys recall, last week was the big push for the 3 day challenge, getting the course launched. And hindsight, I know where that went awry. So I did emails out. I did multiple emails to not only my newsletter list, to the people who signed up for the 3-day challenge, as well as people who signed up for the webinar. However, there was lacking a touch point. I should have had some type of outreach where I like set up a like quick phone call with them versus just letting the emails do it. I think in time, like as this gains more traction, the emails will more than suffice. However, at this point, it's the one-to-one interaction, the one-to-one connection that is really going to sell it. So, I'm going to relaunch in probably like 6 weeks once I've had time to process all of my notes as well as kind of just reassess and like how to do this differently. But that's like one of the biggest things that I would change. So, direct
Hmm.
outreach with the people that I've fostered relationships with, both via email, in the Facebook group, and on Instagram. So,
Hmm.
that's my
Hmm.
biggest change I think that I'm going to make. And that's the new way that I'm going to approach both the 3-day challenge and like a bigger course launch. I also think I'm going to leave the window between 3-day challenge and course launch open longer, um, because I
Hmm.
think buying on the weekend, especially for busy families, was not ideal. And like starting it in the
Yeah.
beginning of the week was probably not ideal. So even if it
Hmm.
like starts on a Thursday, like whatever, right? Doesn't really like have to go Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday. I was just thinking like
Right.
nice and neat making it during the week, but it doesn't really matter when it starts, you know? So,
I think too. There's a lot of course launches I've seen that the cart is open for like 4 or 5 days. So if
yeah.
if you set it up where the cart closed the following Wednesday or something, but then the course didn't start till the following Monday,
Yeah.
that's fine too. Because it also gives you more opportunity to know, or more time to assess that, like, this is how many people bought. If you know them, this is who bought.
Exactly.
So it gives you a few days before you start to be like, let me make sure they get the best value out of it.
Yeah, that is a really good idea. So, I think that that's going to be my approach. I think I'm going to also give 2 to 3 of the courses away to people who have been like really instrumental in like following me and like being really supportive on my Instagram channel for the last couple of months. I'm not going to do a
Hmm.
formal giveaway. I'm just going to see like reach out and see if they would help me out with this and then be able to provide a testimonial after the fact. So, just some direct
Nice.
outreach with that, I think was going to be really beneficial. Um, so I'll probably do that with like 3 to 4 people. Um, and I think, I mean, my major goal with this was yes, to make money, but also to get some feedback on what they think of the course and if this is something that they'd want, like, that's feasible in 2 weeks, or if this is something that they would maybe commit more time to and it can be a little bit more in depth. Because right now I'm kind of just skimming the surface with it
Hmm.
because people don't seem to want to spend a ton of time like diving in depth into this. You know what I mean? Like it can be so much more
Right.
robust, but I'm keeping it pretty simple. So those are all things to consider. Um, I had an awesome meeting with my business coach on Tuesday. Like, we did a quote unquote post mortem of everything that I did like the last 2 weeks for this course launch, and I got some really great insights, but it was also super overwhelming. So, Wednesday, I like attempted to make these changes to my site and to basically everything that she said that like we went over, and I was super overwhelmed and couldn't. So, real talk, guys, sometimes the overwhelm is real, and even if you break it down into baby steps, it is intense. So that's just real life. It is what it is, and you get yourself back up the next day and you go for it. So that's just something to remember. Um, she also mentioned copywriting, like as a whole. I write really well. Sometimes I don't write necessarily how I speak, and sometimes it's a little bit too verbose. I use
Hmm.
big words, not because I want to try and sound smart, just because like that's my vocabulary when I write.
Because you are smart and you sound smart. Is that
Thank
what you're
you.
getting at? I
Thank
see.
you. Thank you. But like that's just my vocabulary. And truthfully, it's gotten me in trouble in the past, like communicating with clients and like them not knowing what the fuck I'm saying. So, real
Mm,
talk, maybe just speak how you write how you speak, even though sometimes I
right.
speak to whatever. Anyway, I'm meeting with a copywriter next Tuesday to kind of just get an assessment of like what she could potentially do for me and make it a little bit more clear on the urgency that I'm trying to achieve with my
Mm-hmm.
clients. So I want to see if
Mm-hmm.
she can help me work through some of that because yes, she's a copywriter, but hopefully she understands like the marketing process a little bit. Again, I'm just going to
Mm-hmm.
get a better feel for that when I speak to her. But if she can help me understand like the urgency and we can really hone in and like make that a point, not only on the site, but in like all of my copy, that would be amazing. So when I was speaking with my business coach, that seems to be the real crux, right? Like in your business, for example, Josh, people need their computer fixed immediately because they need the internet, because they need to work, because they want their technology to work. So there's
Right.
urgency there for them to reach out to you, for you to get your computer back to them quickly. But I think that there's a lack of, maybe not a lack of urgency in what I'm doing, but I'm not verbalizing the urgency in like the issue. So
Mm-hmm.
I asked you this yesterday. I have a couple of things that came to me after you gave me some words of wisdom, which I really appreciate, that I'm going to share with you, but I would still love your feedback on this.
Sure.
Cool. So
Wait, first share with the unstuckers what you asked and what I said that stood out to you so that they're caught up.
excellent, excellent. I can make all of that happen, guys. Just let me go to my text messages from yesterday.
Sorry, throw a curveball at you
All good,
and
all good, all good. I said to Josh, "Oh, I sent you a verbal message, Josh. I can't find it."
that's the problem with verbal messages.
Anyway, I was basically just like my coach needs like says that I need urgency. I gave the same um, example that I just said to you right now, and I was
Right.
like, "Can you give me some like advice?" And you said, what are my clients sick and tired of, as like being the question to answer. So things
Mm-hmm.
that I came up with, my clients are sick and tired of eating the same 5 meals, having a cabinet full of spices but only using the same 2 or 3, that uh, their kids don't eat veggies, and like the result is like it's probably how you're cooking them. um,
Mm-hmm.
my kids are not eating what I'm making, so I just make nuggets or pizza. Like your kids can't eat nuggets or pizza forever. um,
No, by the time they hit 30, it's really going to catch up to them.
uh, relying on nuggets and pizza as a backup to unwanted dinner isn't a long-term solution. Chopping veggies takes forever, and if you learn the skill, you can save time doing it. Figuring out what's for, and then they're sick and tired of figuring out what's for dinner every night. So those are things that I came up with that don't necessarily all get answered in this first course, but could be answered in following courses as well.
I think you could answer a lot of those questions or just kind of make yourself little Instagram live or real commercials, doing one of those at a time,
Yeah.
and see what kind of reaction, feedback, and views you get on them, because that might be a good way to like workshop which really identifies with your audience. Like you'd be like, oh my god, look at all these vegetables, time to cut vegetables again.
Yeah.
And then talk about a little bit your alternatives and what makes it fast and easy, and then just make that one package and put it out there and see. That could be a really easy testing ground, because I think a lot of those make sense,
Yeah.
but you've got to be clear and concise and one at a time about them, right?
So, I mean, that could even be like a mini course, right? Like a knife skills mini course,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rather than like having me on hand with you the whole time.
Right.
Because I
Yeah.
want things where I don't have to be on every week. I mean, yes, office hours, fine. I can do 1 hour a week, but
Right. But like if you did, I'm thinking like just in terms of testing ground to into your funnel, into your course, like
yeah,
do just a bunch of Instagram lives. Don't take a lot of time or energy in planning them. Just throw them out there,
yeah,
see what sticks. And then you're like, oh, I got a lot of engagement on cutting vegetables. I'll make a mini course that's like super fast and super free,
hmm,
that gets your email list engaged, right? On just knife skills or whatever.
yeah,
And then from there, you build out an email list that you can be like, you had great success in that. You like and trust me now, buy this full course,
Okay. I understand what
off
you're
the
coming
top of
from.
my head, but
Yeah.
add that into your
And
brainstorming.
yeah, and that's another thing that I need to work on this week is that value ladder. So what am I giving away for free? What's my very low ticket item? What are they getting at that low ticket item price that can then like funnel them into that next price point? And then I was brainstorming again with my business coach, perhaps down the line having a mastermind, like a high ticket mastermind. I don't think families are going to spend 4 digits on something like that. So the mastermind would probably be more so for dietitians than it would be for like the
Mm-hmm.
hoi polloi, if you will. See, that's what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. How many people use hoi polloi in a sentence?
One person, Celestina.
SAT word, it means common folk. You common folk.
Side note on that, I'm going to butcher all of this, but vague memory I have, they were doing a study on the success of political candidates, and surprise, surprise, the people who have been president are really good at speaking confidently and semi eloquently using fourth grade words only. Like the people who speak above a fourth grade word vocabulary
Yeah.
don't get elected because people don't connect with them.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's you. You gotta dumb down your speech to get connections.
Shit. Then
and
then
that's like no political judgment on anything. That's like smart presidents we've had, dumb presidents we've had. The thing that they all have in common that gets them connection and gets them elected is they can speak down. They can
interesting.
bring that verbiage down. Even Obama, who's really good at
Yeah.
really big words, when he was doing political rallies and stuff, bring down those words.
Yeah.
Itty bitty words.
Itty bitty words. That is a really good point.
And I'm really good at using small words, so you can just like learn from me all you want.
Heard. I don't think you used a word over 5 letters in that whole sentence.
I was trying to concentrate on that at the same time. I was saying it like, are these all small words? It was very taxing on my brain to go through that sentence.
All right, now that the show has completely gone off the rails,
What rails were we ever on, Chell?
fair, choo choo. I think that was really
Choo-choo.
helpful. Yeah, and then I'll let you guys know what my plan is for this week. But
Good.
this
I'm
really keeps a
excited.
fire under my ass.
It sounds like it's a big deflation to not have the success you wanted right last weekend, but you you did everything I would have recommended. Like, take some time off, get the
Yeah,
fuck away,
yeah.
and come back and go, what can I learn from this? And boom, you sound honestly way better than I thought you would sound this casual Friday. So good for you.
Thank you. Excellent. Alrighty.
All right, you ready for my updates of the week?
I am. Ooh, I have a nap timer on though. I gotta change that.
Oh yeah, from 20 minutes to 10 minutes.
25. I took a long nap. You ready? Go.
I'm ready. Okay, so first of all, my to do item last week was the life book. Um, there's a lot in the life book. If you haven't used the life book, shameless plug, go to unstuck.institute/lifebook and get yours. It's free. But also, um, one thing I can talk about and distill really quickly is my new word of the year. So my last word of the year was reimagine because my life had completely turned around and changed in a lot of ways. Um, so it was reimagine it. Every step of the game, I wanted to think, how can I do this differently than I think it needs to happen?
Yeah.
Um, which has led to a lot of different things like the music licensing agency starting up and all this stuff. Um, so this year's word of the year is delegate. And I think that can sound like a bit of a cop out. And it is, but it's also a challenge for me because I'm decent at delegating. I'm not really bad at it, but I need to get better if I want to build the things I want to build. Um, and so my word for the 2.5 year plan is massive action. And if I'm going to be able to take massive action, it means I need to set up a team and delegate and make them very competent in what they do, so that next year we can be taking massive action. And the reason it's massive is because it's more than just the hours I have available in my life, right? And it's other people doing some things too. So, within reason, because I can't afford like a full time 10-person staff or anything tomorrow. But within reason, as much as I can, I'm going to try and figure out how to delegate, and like exactly what you're doing with your copywriter. Like, I could go through this website and try again, or I could just hire an expert. And as long as I can afford it, and I'm not doing it so much that the budget's screwed because of it, I'm just going to delegate, because I want experts doing the things I'm not an expert in,
Yeah.
and I want to build up a team, whether they be contractors or employee types, that are really competent in what they do, and I trust them, and I can just go to them when I need them. Um, so, so yeah, my word of the year: delegate. Going to be quite the challenge.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, but good. Um, let's see. So my assistant, who's the director of licensing, who's a project man. She's got so many titles now. She went to her first BNI meeting Wednesday, and applied, and they're processing her application and everything. Sounds like it's a really good group. Um, and so she's starting. Someone is out there talking about my services without me present or really knowing what they're saying.
Ah.
That's a little nerve wracking, but it's also great. And so I'm really excited about that. Not much to update yet there, but I'm just excited that's really happening. Less excited to pay the bill for joining that group, but it feels like less directly beneficial than like when I paid to join my group for me,
Yeah, yeah.
because that felt like, yeah, I see the benefit, but this is just like I'm paying to pay this employee to go over there. Like there's just it. I understand that it's going to be beneficial, but there's some like base level caveman think that like I don't like this. I'm losing a lot of money for someone to just go over there. But anyway, I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited about that. Um, the big news this week is that I've been thinking a lot about kind of the SEO, the great SEO thing. What do I call it? Experiment? Great
Experiment.
SEO experiment that we're running, and building websites and stuff. And I'm thinking, along with the word delegate, like websites and SEO are right in line with that, because you don't even have to be in Albuquerque for me to hire you as a contractor to do
Yeah.
some of this stuff. You know what I mean? So I've been listing out people that I know who do websites in town, but also people online who I kind of know, or Upwork with SEO stuff that I've been doing. So I'm amassing a list of go to people, and so hopefully when BNI comes through with my employee in another group, and they bring in websites to be designed, I'll do some of it, and when I'm out of time, I will hire the trusted people to do it. I'll delegate, um, and of course, if we get a lot at one time, then I don't have to worry about like I don't have time for I can just be like, cool, we're just hiring out then.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, so been kind of really thinking about how that's going to work and pricing and whatnot. One fun thing is Instagram ads are great. Like, uh, somebody had a free mini course on pricing your website design agency,
Hmm.
right? And it was just to basically collect an email, and I'll probably unsubscribe. but,
You're being real, man.
right? But man, the internet's a wealth of knowledge. I didn't even think there'd be a pricing your website design mini course, but there sure was. And that it doesn't tell you this is how much you should charge. It just tells you different ways to think about it, different structures.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I was like, oh, this gives me a lot more confidence. So
Good.
so yeah, the internet's just full of wisdom. Go check it out. um, and the last thing is there is somebody in a different group who I tangentially know, who runs an IT business, and she's considering like me. She runs like three different businesses, and she's considering shutting down the IT part of it.
Hmm.
Um, but unlike me, I'm what you call break fix. So if somebody breaks something, they call me, I fix it. End of story. Real simple to understand.
Mm-hmm.
What she's doing is what's called a managed service provider, managed IT, which means for a subscription, basically. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what she charges, but let's say like $50 a month per computer, you get them backing everything up, making sure it's updated remotely without like um, slowing you down at all. And if there is a problem, they fix it for you um, without extra charge, other than parts. Usually, is
Yeah.
how it works. And some people do retainers or limited hours. Like you have 5 hours a month of extra whatever, and then if we get above 5 hours, that kind of
Yeah.
protects them from being totally ruined. But it's a whole different ball game. Something I've not played around with too much. So we had a chat yesterday, and basically right now she's still considering getting out of that game. It sounds like she doesn't have a ton of clients, but she has some under contract. um, but what she does need right now is she's got contractors who don't live here who do the remote stuff.
Hmm.
um, they I think used to live here and they moved, but she kept them on. But she doesn't have a boots on the ground person anymore, so she really immediately wants a boots on the ground person,
Huh.
me, um, when needed, which is not very often, but when they do. Um, and with the mindset of maybe I'll take over this client or this contract one day,
Yeah.
maybe not, you know. What was really nice about it is, you know, it may sound like a really tense, weird conversation to a lot of people out there, but like, and it may be depending on the people, but for me and for this person, we were both just so chill and open. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know how much I feel comfortable with this or that, but I like the idea of like helping you out and maybe getting more familiar with your business. And if you decide to one day be done with it, maybe that familiarity will help me want to acquire your contracts, or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, so we'll see. We're taking things slow right now. It's just, she thinks that she might call me once every 3 weeks or something to go on site somewhere. She doesn't anticipate it's a whole bunch, but
Yeah.
um, we're developing a business relationship that might turn into an acquisition, which is a weird thing for me.
Dude, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
And I told her, even if it doesn't, maybe she decides to keep going forever. Like, I'm cool. She's going to pay me to be boots on the ground. I'm going to learn something about a slightly different business model.
Yeah.
So even if it doesn't go that way, I think it's beneficial to me as well. So
Totally.
no pressure either way. But yeah, so I went into that meeting going like, I don't know. I don't have the capital to buy a business. I don't know this other business model. Like, this sounds weird. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Um, like I wish I was comfortable with this opportunity, and now it sounds like, oh, cool. It's like totally dipping your toe in the water, and maybe eventually it becomes a bigger opportunity. So
Yeah.
very exciting. Which moral of the story, dear listeners, is freaking network, man. You just never know what might come out of knowing somebody. Like, she and I've had maybe two conversations before this.
Wow.
Like, it's not a very deep relationship yet. It's going
Yeah.
to be the way it's going, but like, you just never know who you meet that's like looking for exactly what you offer or
Yeah.
giving you an opportunity. Um so as much as my little introvert heart hates it, network, people, network.
And go back to our
uh,
episode where we talk about networking to help you
yeah,
network.
absolutely. Search that. It's episode number, title says networking in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my week. Was that my timer? I think I
Yeah,
heard.
that was. Yeah, that was.
Excellent. Good time. Good timing. All right.
I have no feedback for you because you had no questions, but
I know I didn't really have questions. Just a lot of brainstorming has happened. I think I'm gonna have a lot more questions next week. I'm in the midst of the the whole website SEO planning
okay.
that.
Cool.
So in some ways, it's kind of a separate business that I'm starting.
Yeah.
It's
Fair.
housed under JBit, but it's like Like this lady I talked to this week who's thinking about getting out of IT, it's because she's doing exactly that. She's already started a marketing agency, and it's a fully separate business to her,
Oh wow.
and she's considering like putting all her energy in that and stopping this.
I mean, if
And
it's
she
still making
houses them as two
money,
very different companies,
shit. Yeah.
but she's doing the full like Google and Facebook ads,
Oh wow.
SEO, web development, like the works, your online presence handled.
Wow.
Um, Interesting in another right. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I'll have more questions and thoughts for brainstorm on that, I'm
Sweet.
sure. All right, Chell. Goals for this week?
Yes, and I have a new way that I'm approaching goals. I'm going to check in with you throughout the week to make sure that I've had things done by a certain time so that I'm not scrambling to do things super last minute, if that's cool with
uh,
you.
that's very cool with me. That's kind of what I've been doing to you since I had my last minute goal
Yeah.
flurry like
Yeah.
a month ago or something.
Yeah,
I've been
accurate.
like, did this, I did this.
But I need to say it live on air unless it's not going to happen.
Yeah, fair, fair. If I don't hear
So,
from you by next Thursday, I'm going to be really concerned.
okay, so I am going to check in with you, I would say like Monday, Tuesday latest, because it's a weird holiday weekend, So, like, shit just gets a little scrambled. Um, by that time, I will have at least 3 to 4 people taking the mini course, or not the mini course, the course, and like signed up to like test run it for me. Um, and I also will have the course completely built out, videos edited, videos uploaded, as well as all of like the supplemental materials that go with it by Monday, Tuesday.
That sounds like a lot.
It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Most of
yeah.
it's done. I just have to like edit stuff. It's not a
Okay,
big deal. Yeah.
cool.
By Monday, Tuesday. Okay. And then by Thursday next week, I would like to have written 2 more blog posts that are fall related because, as per Pinterest, things need to be on there 2 months earlier than needed. So, one is probably going to be Labor Day related, and maybe one will be back to school related. Writing in July. I feel like so commercialist. Ugh.
Yeah,
Two
yeah, yeah,
times blog post
yeah.
by Thursday. Um, that's it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds doable and like a lot. So good.
It is doable and a lot.
Oh, that reminds me. What? Oh, dang it! Something popped into my head while I was driving yesterday that I was like, I have to follow up with Chell on that on the podcast because we never followed up, and I'm curious what she did. What was it? Oh, got it. Okay. You said maybe 3, 4 weeks ago that you were going to plan out your week starting either on Friday nights or Sunday nights, depending on how you felt,
Yeah,
and see how that goes. And I don't think we fully
I don't think we
covered.
did either.
Yeah.
Friday has been awesome because then I don't have to think about it all weekend and I can just dip into my day on Monday.
So you've been doing Fridays.
Yeah.
I like it. And you feel a lot more like solid in your week because of that.
Yeah, just because I have a plan of action for Monday,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just
That
being
sounds
like,
good.
maybe I'll have another cup of coffee or I'll sit out on the porch. I actually have like a to do list.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might try that. I've been trying to do that on Sundays, but I've been completely falling off the bandwagon because I just don't feel like working on Sundays
Yeah, I don't blame you.
in recovery mode. Um, so good. It's not only wanted to hear that update, but wanted to know for myself because I'm selfish. So.
All good.
So you're still taking weekends off. That's good.
Fuck yeah. I didn't last weekend, but yeah, most weekends I have been.
Well, yeah, except for launch weekend, that
Yeah.
kind of makes some sense. Yeah, cool. All right, my goals. This week, I want to have a kind of a menu of pricing and services related to the marketing wheel of the online. No, if marketing feels uncomfortable because I don't feel like I'm a marketer, but digital presence, like the whole thing, the web development, the SEO,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like I have so with my SEO client that I currently have, they really wanted to write their own blog posts, which I am definitely a fan of the owner writing a blog post because they can speak more eloquently about it than some freelancer.
Yeah.
Um, However, they have yet to give me a blog post.
Mm,
So I'm like, well, this isn't going to work out great if we have zero blog posts. So like, I want to kind of nudge them and be like, I have a content writer. We can do this for this price,
yeah.
unless you can start giving me blog posts.
Do you have a content writer?
um, I do not. But that's part of it is finding. I mean, I have one or two people I loosely know through connections that might be available in a pinch, but then that's part of like the delegating and building out my team and who and whatnot.
If
So
I'll let you know how my copyright meeting goes on Tuesday,
yeah,
and I might pass her off to you as well. She is
excellent.
extremely affordable hourly.
Love it.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's kind of my plan is I need kind of a menu of services and that way next time I have an SEO meeting with a client, it's not just like it's this much a month and I do SEO and you have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
It's more like, well, this is what I do for this much a month. If you want us to write your blog posts too, it's this much.
So
If
it's a
you
little
want
bit more a
this,
la carte.
a little more a la
You're a
carte.
fucking French restaurant, bro.
I'm a fucking French restaurant. It's about time somebody recognizes that. I am I am just a fresh baguette ready to be taken and walked down the street.
My little
I don't
brie,
know.
my little
I don't know where
croissant.
this I don't know where this metaphor is going, but I feel very French.
My little blanc de noir.
It's those big words and those alternate language words that are really just sinking you chill.
Je ne sais pas.
Yeah, so that's my big thing for the week is the menu, and kind of figuring out if somebody wants any of those services, having at least one go-to person if it's not me.
Excellent.
So like the content writer or whatever. So menu with the people who will be doing such things lined up.
Cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of interviewing.
Well, I have most of the things I need in place, but there's a
Okay.
few extra. Um, but I just and some of my relationships I know they're just kind of dormant and I don't use them this way. So like I had a phone call with somebody who builds Wix websites yesterday,
Cool.
and it was just a 5-minute phone call. Like, hey, if I get clients who need Wix and I'm overwhelmed, are you still doing it? What kind of rates do you usually charge? Da, 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 da. Do you have time for it? So
Cool.
with people I already know, it's like a 5-minute process.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, the menu's going to be the hardest part though, figuring out how to like communicate it, price it out so it's fair to everybody and whatnot.
Do the Googles, see what other people have, choose what you
Mhm.
like, mix what you
Yep,
don't.
yep, yep. That's the plan.
Excellent.
All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap on this casual Friday. If you have a question for us, email us at unstuck.institute@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram at unstuck.institute. And if your name is Anna Kendrick, reach out to us on Instagram at unstuck.institute.
The real
Dang
one
it,
though, the real one,
Anna.
not a fake one, like the real
Yeah,
one.
not the fake Anna Kendrick. The verified blue check Anna Kendrick. You're welcome on this show. Anytime, I'll watch your movie. If you haven't already, download our free PDF life book like I did and keep your ball rolling on your own productivity. Get your life book today at www.unstuck.institute. That's it from us. See you next week. Be excellent to each other. Bye, Unstuckers.
Happy 4th.
Oh, yeah. Happy 4th, or as my dog calls it, Boomsday. Bye.